Hello and welcome to Moments of Truth on Labour Social. I'm Graham Hughes. And so Rishi Sunak has spoken in his first and last Tory conference as the leader of the Conservative Party. The speech went on for over an hour and mostly consisted of a whining sound, whining about how everything is a bit crap. Honestly, if my car whined that much, I would take it to the garage. Anyway, I've sifted through some of the lowlights and here they are for you, in no particular order. The big news is that Sunak has now confirmed that he is cancelling the northern leg of HS2. This definitely isn't a U-turn. U-turns are something that only Labour do. He was very keen to stress this isn't a massive U-turn. Apparently, the facts have changed, and so has his mind, in the complete other direction. Not a U-turn though, definitely not a U-turn, rather a 180-degree pivot. But all is not lost. Sunak has promised to spend every single penny of the £36 billion saved from scrapping the northern leg of HS2 on new transport projects across the North and the Midlands. And if you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you, a garden bridge across the Thames. He also promised that HS2 wouldn't terminate in Old Oak Common, but at Euston, as originally envisioned, because of course it will. London gets what London wants. Crossrail or an extension to the Northern Line to Battersea Park? Why not have both? Because, after all, you are London, the spoiled little rich kid of the United Kingdom. Then, after well and truly screwing Manchester, while in Manchester, Sunak proposed raising the smoking age by 1 year every year, meaning that a 14-year-old today will never be legally sold a cigarette. This will be a free vote in the House and will no doubt split the Conservative Party between its authoritarian wing and its libertarian wing, and with any luck, cause Suella Braverman to spontaneously combust. Sunak also said that he was going to do something about the staggering number of children who are vaping, but he was a bit vague on the details of that one. In a huge reform of secondary school qualifications, Sunak said he's bringing together A-levels and T-levels to create an advanced British standard level, or advanced BS, as it will no doubt be known, because tinkering around the edges of the state education system while improving nothing is one of the many things that privately educated Tory toffs who have never lived in the real world are famous for. Basically, Sunak wants to give teenagers more freedom by forcing them to do subjects they hate until they're 18. He also had a dig at the trans community because that's what all the cool fascists and bigots are doing these days, because trans people don't have enough to put up with. He said that a man is a man and that a woman is a woman. That's just common sense, he said, displaying the kind of intellectual nuance only available to an incompetent man-child who had all the benefits of an eye-wateringly expensive education. Man, man, woman, woman. Me Tarzan, you Jane. Sunak also had a pop at people claiming long-term disability payments, casting them as work-shy shirkers who should damn well get back to work. This is in the same country where there are over 7 million people currently waiting for NHS operations. If he had the basic foundation, in reality, to put two and two together, he would be a dangerous man. Speaking of Sunak's tenuous grip on reality, next up we had the claim that we will still get to net zero by 2050 under his new, improved, do nothing and hope for the best climate policy. A claim that has been rubbished by every reputable climate scientist on the planet who has been asked on the matter. It's a bit like saying that your train is still definitely going to get to Edinburgh, even though it took a wrong turn in Crewe, crashed into another train just outside Llandudno, derailed, burst into flames, fell off a cliff, and is now sitting at the bottom of the Irish Sea. Sunak went on to emphasise the UK's support for Ukraine, which seemed a bit rich to me, since the company that him and his wife have over £500 million worth of shares in is still trading with Russia and therefore channeling money to the Russian state, which is almost certainly being used by Putin to attack and murder the good people of Ukraine. Nice one. The only bit of the speech that was actually grounded in reality was when he said that the people of the United Kingdom wanted change. You're not kidding. That much is true. However, he thinks that the best way to achieve that change is for the party that's been in charge for the last 13 years, 14 by the time of the next election, to be in charge for another 5. The ridiculousness of this notion was made clear when, out of sheer desperation, Sunak smashed the emergency glass and invoked the ghost of the member for Islington North. Because in a parallel universe, Jeremy Corbyn won the 2019 election by a landslide, and things that in that completely hypothetical timeline are demonstrably worse than they currently are under this useless, corrupt, seedy, incompetent group of con artists we call the Tory party. So that's it. Don't deal with reality. Don't deal with the fact that the economy hasn't grown in 16 years, 13 of which have been under the grim and unsettling cavalcade of disasters that is this Tory government. Don't deal with the fact that NHS waiting times are at an all-time high. And definitely don't deal with the reality that the cost of living has gone through the roof, while inward investment to this country has gone through the floor, that our energy bills are currently higher than Michael Gove at 2 a.m. in a Scottish nightclub. Don't deal with the fact that we have alienated our closest trading partners and that the world no longer wants to do business with us. Don't for a moment deal with the fact for the last 13 years, we have as a country have staggered from crisis to crisis, most of which were imposed on us by this government, the most dim-witted and vicious incarnation of the Tory government that it's ever been this country's misfortune to suffer. Don't deal with the fact that this government's rampant xenophobia and sheer incompetence has directly led to over £1 trillion of assets being stripped from this nation. And don't deal either with the fact that their kamikaze Brexit and their kamikaze mini-budget have cost our economy trillions, a seeping wound from which we may never recover. No. All you have to worry about is a hypothetical situation in which Jeremy Corbyn is currently the Prime Minister. A situation that didn't happen and now cannot ever happen. Sunak's speech boiled down to, you think it's bad now? It would have somehow been worse under a Labour government, which is a bit like an arsonist who burnt down your house, coming up to you while you are weeping in the ashes for what you have lost and saying, cheer up, matey. It could be raining. So, what did you think was the worst part of Rishi Sunak's disastrous speech today to the Tory faithful? Let me know in the comments below.